Tisai, Gemma, and this is a chat with Gemma. So today's topic is the lonely sports person. So we, the ordinary folk, we think of sports people as having it all. They get the lauding, the congratulating, the money. Wherever they go, they're recognised and people want their autographs. And depending on their sport, they get to listen to the crowd roaring. And, must be quite uplifting, I would say. So they're at the top of the totem pole of life. And everybody thinks they're just so talented and they're so successful. You'd think they would never be lonely, wouldn't you? They have, depending on the sport, other teammates, crew members, hangers-on. They even get more attention than they would otherwise do from their families and friends who want to be in on it all. Just ask their brothers and sisters. What about TV and movie stars as well? Their lights just flicker a little bit and they work and work and work, and then their lights glow brightly for everybody to see and envy and copy. They're leading the perfect life, aren't they? And some people are just lucky, aren't they? I've been writing since I was 15. But what about the girl who just gets out of school and already she's written a novel and somebody's blooming published it, and now it's a bestseller and she's famous? Ugh. So what if you're in one of these categories? Despite it all, you have times of loneliness, even depression, maybe even deep, dark depression. But you're not allowed to, really, are you? You're so cool, aren't you? You're so successful and talented. So you may be embarrassed to let on about it. Let on about your so-called weakness. So you hang on to the last fingernail to confess to anybody about it or to get support. Or maybe your light only shone for so long and then flickered out. Or you got too old or injured to continue on in your sport, and now you're retired and less people even remember you or care about you. Of course, people get lonely and depressed. Yes, even the strongest. In sport, you're supposed to be really, really strong, aren't you? Oh, and mindlessly brave, and to go on no matter what. But is that always necessary or wise? And is anybody really that tough? Maybe they are. Maybe a few are, but I doubt that many really, really are. What if blood's squirting out of a person like a fountain? Probably, I just think myself, it would be wiser for them to just go to the doctor, not to keep on going. And we don't see the inner workings of the brain, do we? Sometimes there are things going on inside the brain or inside the body that only the person themselves knows about. There are definitely times when they too should pause for a bit and get some support or even treatment. Just what I think. But there are many opportunities for loneliness in any of these walks of life. Certainly in the sport I follow, football, players have to sometimes leave the state they've grown up in to go and play in another state. And they're very, very young indeed when they start out. They're just babies, really. It's so hard. Sometimes they might even have to go a couple of states across, and that means that it really is a long way and expensive to sort of pop back and see their families now and then. And some sports, of course, require people to leave their country altogether. It really does make life very, very hard, and unless you've lived it, you may not have any idea just how hard that is and how desperately homesick some people can feel and lonely. And if you have to give it away because it's just too hard for you, you can feel like a real loser, like you're a weakling. But maybe you're just a human being. And some people have very sensitive natures. It's a thing. Ask any psychologist or psychiatrist. They're made that way probably by God for a good purpose. Doesn't necessarily feel good for the person. Maybe you're just not designed for this kind of life. And I think it's sort of infantile to call such a person weak or a loser. Some people give up on themselves after something like this, and they think that the fact that they didn't cope means that they're completely useless. But no, this sort of thing happens to a lot of people. Yes, I'm here to tell you, truly, it's not exactly something that people talk a lot about or advertise. But it happens to loads and loads of people. You really are not alone in this. So I would advise, remember I'm not medically trained, but I'm old and experienced. Counts for something. I would advise to think of yourself as a work in progress. What might you try next? What can you do? What can't you do? It's not over. You're still alive. And if you do fail, does that have to mean something about you permanently? I don't think it does. So, I wish you the best. And may God bless you. And if you do have loneliness and even depression, then please talk to somebody about it. God bless you. Bye for now.